PBS viewers know that the host of Rick Steves Europe has been just about everywhere, and who better than a highly seasoned traveler to provide tips for your own trips? If you're able to bring just a carry-on bag on your trip, you won't have to wait for your checked luggage, which means you can hoof it to your hotel even sooner, Steves told Business Insider. You'll never meet a traveler who after 5 trips brags, "Every year I pack heavier." You can't travel heavy, happy, and cheap. Pick 2. Steve's advice is even more valuable if you go somewhere loaded with stairs around every corner, like many cities in Europe. That's probably one of the many reasons why Steve's European tours only allow travelers to have a carry-on bag. Packing light also gives you some limits for spending money at your destinations. If you have a ton of room in your luggage, you're more likely to overspend on souvenirs. When you don't have a lot of space, you don't have much choice unless you pay to ship it home.
It's no hardship. It's not heroic to pack light. It is enlightened to pack light.
Saving a few dollars might cost more time than just spending the money. That's why Steves encourages travelers to consider how much their time is worth. He advises on his website, shrink and tame big European cities by hopping into the occasional taxi or using a ride-sharing service. By knowing when a private ride is the best way to get somewhere, you'll save time, money, and energy. A 10-minute, $15 cab ride will save you ample time compared to the few dollars you'd save by taking a train or bus for 45 minutes. The more time you spend trying to get places on your trip, the less time you can spend doing the things you want. You can help offset the sticker shock by setting money aside for unexpected travel fees. The easiest way to free up your excursion time is by reserving tickets online ahead of your visit to a place like the Louvre or the Vatican museums. Even though these destinations recommend reservations in advance, you may be surprised how few people actually buy their tickets ahead of time. Steves wrote in USA Today, "It's not uncommon to find hour or more waits in ticket buying lines and rooms packed shoulder to shoulder with visitors and intercontinental BO. So it's up to smart tourists to do whatever is possible to minimize hassles and maximize their experience." If you decide to stay somewhere locally owned instead of a major hotel chain, you may save some money and get a better experience in the process. Chain hotels outside of the United States are frequently more expensive than their local counterparts because a lot of American tourists would rather have familiarity than save money. Steves says that Americans should step outside their comfort zone, writing on his website, "I look for places that are clean, central, relatively quiet at night, reasonably priced, friendly, small enough to have a hands-on owner and stable staff, run with a respect for local traditions, and not listed in other guidebooks. If I can find a place with, say, 6 of these 8 criteria, it's a keeper." Staying in a place that is connected to the local culture and community will offer a more genuine experience anyway. There are cities that people wait their entire lives to visit, like Paris, London, or Rome. But there are so many worthwhile other cities in those countries that could save you money and bumping elbows with millions of other tourists. Why not save some money seeing a gorgeous place like Oberammergau, Germany, instead of just Berlin? Steve said on PBS NewsHour,
If everybody goes to the first cities, why not try Lyon or Marseille after Paris? Why not go to Porto instead of Lisbon?
These second cities aren't lesser than their larger counterparts, they're simply smaller, less heavily populated, and less visited than the others. You are simply not going to be able to see everything a city has to offer in a single trip. Even if you plan out every single second of every day, you'll run yourself ragged before you visit every museum, attraction, or restaurant. Once you accept that fact and prioritize what you absolutely need to see or do, you can enjoy the adventure without regret, Steve says. He told Business Insider, "You can't see it all, especially in one trip, and that's a blessing. Enjoy seeing what you can and be thankful you have important experiences left over to enjoy on your next adventure." When you free up time in your schedule, you open yourself up to the idea that you can come back. If a place truly captures your heart, having a list of things you want to return to will make the pain of saying goodbye for now a little less painful. Food is a key component of a great trip, and there are plenty of factors to consider when choosing dining options. Steves says to try restaurants that don't translate the menu to English, meaning they don't specifically cater to tourists. Steves also told Eater that some research ahead of time can be a big help, saying, "I always like to say a good traveler can go to a good restaurant and look at the menu and know where they are and what month it is by what's being served. They will eat the local specialties and they will eat them in season. If a menu in Italy is full of seasonally appropriate root vegetables and tubers, you have a hint that the place will give you a more authentic experience." Even some of the best-traveled people are not immune to the occasional pickpocket. These thieves target tourist-heavy areas in part because of the constant chaos, crowd, and easy distractions. Steves told Inc., Tourist attractions, especially ones that are free to see and are out in the open, and places for transportation tend to be targeted more. Places like parks and national monuments, subways, metros, or train stations, and even churches may be targets.
Thieves work to distract you. They'll spill something on you or shove a cardboard sign in your face and so on.
So keep your phone close to your body, don't constantly look down, and be aware of your surroundings at all times. If you don't overplan your entire trip, you won't be so stressed out, and you'll have time for joyful surprises. Rick Steves highly recommends leaving yourself space for spontaneity, telling Travel and Leisure. Overplanning takes away some of the joy of travel, which is letting things unfold in an unpredictable way. Without planned breaks in your itinerary, you're closing yourself off from impromptu experiences that could completely change your life.